Hello everyone. I'll wait a couple seconds for people to join in before I start saying things because there are a few things I have to say before we get underway. Um, let's see who's in the chat. There were a couple of messages before we even started. Jack 2006 Overhaul, thank you for the kind words. Hello, Willie Maloney, I think that's how you say that. Also, thank you for the kind words. Hello, Not a Good Gamer. Hello, Patty Murphy. Hello, Dragon Halls. Yes, Thomas 5 B. Hey, yo, Cadians. Hello, Christopher Scherer. Good to see you as well. No, I have to wait a couple seconds before I start. I mean, this is like the pre-show, the pre-stream, because we do have to do a little switcheroo with what you're looking at before we get to the actual stream. Hint hint. Hello, Ad TV. Thank you, Cadian. Hello, Oma Revice. Oma Revice. That sounds a little terrifying. 5 years. Yes, it has been 5 years. Hello, Gamers Force Ranger 785. Oops, I went to the wrong tab. Hello, Darth Wang. Let's see. Okay, we have been going for like 2 minutes now. So, yes, this is the 5-year anniversary live stream. I will have a few things to say in a moment. First, I just want to say up front, I guess thank you for sticking with me for 5 years or 5 days, 5 hours, however long you've been here with the channel. Greatly appreciated. Today's stream is going to be a bit different. I basically I didn't want to I feel like 5 years I didn't want to just do the normal we're gonna talk about the magazine scans blah blah blah, so I don't have any pictures. I don't have any magazine scans to talk about. We can talk about magazine scans, but the thing I wanted to do was just talk about anything, just like I guess a Q&A stream essentially. So if you want to ask me my thoughts on Don Murasame, his mecha, whatever's been happening in Revice, you can ask me and I will talk about that. But that's not what I want to be the main topic of discussion. The main topic of discussion is anything. It's whatever. You can ask me about Trigger, even though I haven't finished Trigger, or Decker, because Decker comes out in a few days, which is kind of weird. Basically, don't ask me questions now. Ask me questions in 5 seconds. You can tell when we actually start to stream. We are starting to stream. Whatever. Keep in mind, I uploaded a new video today and kind of yesterday. So yesterday I had a Zenkaiser Black roll call edit uploaded for a while that got taken down by YouTube. Yesterday it got brought back, and I made a bunch of messages because of all the comments are gone. Guys, can you please put more comments? And some of you did, so thank you for that. And then YouTube put all the comments back, so it's fine. I was just letting you know that's up there. And then I also uploaded a edit video of Majin's song from Zenkaiger, a whole little music video with edits and subtitles and English and Japanese subtitles, so you can see what she's actually saying, or you can read it in English. I spent a very long time on that. I've actually been working on that since February. Not the entire every single day since February, but I started it in February technically when the whole song dropped. And then yesterday or today finally uploading that final version is now I'm done with it. So I've been working on that for a while. So if you want to check it out, it's just a short 4-minute video. So if you want to check it out, it would be greatly appreciated, even though I'm not making money off of that because YouTube claimed it, but it's fine. I expected that. So anyways, let's get into the live stream. So before we do that, I have a little present, I guess. Hi. Oh no, I feel super awkward now. we're doing a face cam live stream for 5 years. 5 year celebration. We gotta shake things up. So I'm gonna be here the whole time. So if ugly people scare you, you might want to click off. But I'm gonna be here face cam. I recreated the good old original intro. That was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll replay that later if anyone wants to see that. So that's not gonna be in videos. I just wanted to remake that for this thing. So hello everyone. Now I have to say, oh, don't hit the mic. I have to re-say hello to everyone. My mic is over here, so it seems like the audio is fine. I might increase that just a little bit, but it seems like the audio is fine, so this is good. So I already saw a few questions earlier, so I'm gonna go back to that. Actually, first I do want to say, like an actual, now you can see me. Thank you guys so much for the 5 years. Literally, so 5 years today. Like, I've had this channel for I think for 5 years before that 5 years. I've had it since 2000. Yeah, actually for 5 years before that. Oh my god, since 2012 I've had the channel, but I just did comment stuff. But the main thing too is I had a stop motion app on my phone or on my iPad, I think, and I just used that. There was an option to upload directly to YouTube, so I was just filming stop motion stuff and then just uploading that. So I deleted or no, they're not deleted. I just unlisted those videos because I didn't really want them up anymore. But that is what I just did on YouTube for the longest time, just stop motion stuff. But I didn't really like it. I just kind of did it just because I had it there, and over time I was I don't really like doing this, so I stopped doing that. And then 5 years ago, summer, I was at a transitional point in my life, to not get too specific, and I was just I've been watching a lot of YouTubers that do Transformers, some are tokusatsu, so I was what if I do that? So I uploaded that stop motion, or no, not stop motion. I uploaded that slideshow video where I'm I'm gonna do videos now, and then I started doing videos from there, and then from there I went into then I added my voice, then and then the thumbnail. You can kind of see the evolution where then I made new avatars, and now it's me here sometimes, but I still have the little, it's this side, the little red Muteki friend, because it's easier for me to record just without my face. But it's for face cam videos like this unboxing stuff, it's much easier to have my face, so it's very, very cool. So I never thought I would be making it be I don't know. When I started making videos, I didn't really think of where I would go. So now sitting here 5 years later, I can guarantee I never really thought I'd be at this point in 5 years, over 20,000 subs. Pretty awesome numbers. So, or over 25,000, 26,000. So I never thought I'd reach that point in that. So that's really awesome. And I don't know, the community as well. Since I make shows about or since I make videos about shows, it's really cool that people will watch Xade apparently and think of me. They see the Muteki and they're oh, there's a YouTuber that has that as their image. And I don't know, I think that's really cool. People can think that. So that is super cool. So thank you guys so much for the 5 years. It really means a lot. So no more sappy stuff. It's time to look at questions. So I need to go back up, because people are already asking questions, and there were already some questions. So let's see. This is a good one to start. What's your favorite Kamen Rider opening? Excite from Xade, because, well, it's from Xade. I like the song, and then on my rewatch of Xade, I was I really like the song with the visuals. The visuals are beautiful in Xade, so, or in Excite. So definitely Excite. What are my opinions on Ninjago? I like Ninjago. I rewatched I watched 5 seasons as they were airing, and then I stopped watching for a very long time. And then earlier this year, a couple friends and I, we were talking, and we realized we all watched Ninjago as well, and stopped around that same time as well. And then we just rewatched the pilot episodes of Ninjago together, or just the pilot episode, the first half of that. and then from there we just all started rewatching it. So I rewatched. They stopped. I just kept going. I went all the way up to season 10, and I really liked all. I mean, not all the seasons. I think Hands of Time was kind of garbage, but other than that, I really liked all the seasons. And then I was thinking I just wouldn't continue because the season 10 has a nice ending, but then I saw that they were doing marketing for season 15, and they've got like Avengers Endgame style stuff, and I've got an Endgame poster over there. Or actually, no, I've got one down here, which you can see. And then over here off camera, I've got like the actual poster that they're using for the Ninjago stuff. So I might have to catch up once season 15 is all out because it looks interesting. Um, Thoughts on Kamen Rider Geats? I don't know. It's like there's so much there's so many rumors and stuff and nothing's confirmed. So I really don't have any opinion on Geats right now. Like it's just like the name, it's just a weird name. Some of the stuff sounds cool, like the Gaim or the Gaim style belts where we've got like faceplates again. I love the Gaim faceplates, and like when they brought that back for Saber, kind of, I really love that. So if they're doing that again, I'm really into that. The bracelet, like scanning a belt and opening it or whatever, that sounds really interesting. I might have to buy some of like at least the main belt and stuff like that eventually if like that kind of comes true. But the story stuff, I don't know. I haven't really given any of it much thought because there's so much stuff and all of it just sounds fake and real at the same time. So I don't really I'm just like I'll watch. I mean, I'm gonna watch Geats when it comes out, and that's it. That's where I'm at. Um, Thank you for the happy 5 years, Cyber Queen, and Neozoic. Neozoic, is that how you say it? I don't know if I said that right. What are my thoughts on the idea of Kagero coming back in the new Revice movie? I really like that. Like all three of the demons, seeing them, I guess, being separated from the Igarashi siblings, that looks really fun. Like that's the kind of thing that I mean, like they would do in a movie. Like they always kind of do crazy stuff in a movie. So that seems really fun for the movie. I'm really excited for that. Cause what I mean, Vice with the red eyes is kind of stupid. Bringing Kagero back is really awesome. And then the human love cop is like really weird, but I'm like kind of into it. It's funny how they're like, the Vice is a dude in a suit, right? Kagero is just Daiji, but he's like in the Kamen Rider evil suit, so it's also kind of a guy in a suit. And Love Cobb is just a woman with a hood on. It's like it doesn't look like a monster or a rider suit like the other two. It's just a normal person wearing a little costume, and it looks so funny to me. Do I think I'm on some kind of Toei watch list? No, I don't think they care. They're like, oh, this person's using our content. Claim. I don't really think they care. Do I prefer Ryuki or Dragonite? I've not seen either, so I prefer the suits in Dragonite. Let's see, scroll down, there are a few other questions. Do I like Transformers? I love Transformers. What got me into Tokusatsu is Transformers, because when I was younger, my dad got me Jazz from the Transformers 2007 movie, and I was like, this is amazing. This is so cool. So he bought me more Transformers. So I have like the entire cast of the first Transformers Michael Bay movie as toys, and we play with them like every weekend or something. And that just made me love giant robots and stuff. So then over time, like I watched like Transformers reviewers, and then they started reviewing Kamen Rider stuff, and I was like, what is this? And then that kind of spiraled into that. And then the giant robot side got me into Power Rangers, and then into Sentai. And then I still like robots and Transformers. I still love Transformers. I got I just collect Soundwaves now because Soundwave's my favorite. So I got a Soundwave, this new Soundwave the other day, and back here I got the Lego Optimus Prime because I also really loved Legos as a kid, and I really like the idea of a Lego Transformer. I actually called myself like Lego Transformer LTF on like some account stuff. So I had to buy the Lego Transformer. You can also see here Bunny and Majin. Speaking of plushie Majin, someone asked, stop motion Majin plushie adventures when? if not stop motion, but I would kind of like to do. It would be kind of fun to do like little puppet shows with the Majin, I guess. Oh, the chat refresh, so I'm all the way back at the beginning. Um, okay. Prime overrated, Soundwave superior. I agree. Although I do also have, before I started collecting Soundwaves, I just bought like Optimus Primes from every season. So I have, my shelf is up here. So I've got like I've got three versions of Prime Optimus Prime. I've got like four versions of movie Optimus Prime. Um, it's all ones. Oh, I have like the Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime. Or I think it's War for Cybertron. Yeah, it's the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime actually. Um, do I like Beyond or no? Did I like Bionicle? Yes, I collected. I have a tub of Bionicles and there's one over there. I have two tubs of Bionicles, but one's actually Hero Factory. Um, but yes, I think I started with like the end of the center of the universe wave or something. No, actually no, because I have some from the when they went underwater, when there were dudes underwater. I have like the big blue guy with like big foam teeth. And I have like the green guy with like the double cannons, and then I have more of them came from the ones that I have were like the center of the universe line, where like they had like I think it was Kopaka green and orange, and then they had like the little dudes on their back, and they all had like jetpacks. That was really cool. So that's kind of where I started, and then I got a few going. I have like the Madanui from the when he was a gold little man or something, and then I got a bunch of Hero Factories, which is technically not Bionicle, but I did buy a lot of Hero Factory and Bionicle. So what's my least favorite main Kamen Rider base form? Probably, actually, no, I talked about that in my ranking video. So if you want to hear like my actual thought out opinion, you should check out my ranking video. But off the top of my head, I think I put Geo at the bottom. Um, Favorite food? Also, happy 5-year anniversary. Thank you. Pizza is my favorite food. I love pizza. I can like it's like what do you want to eat? I'll just have pizza. What kind? If as long as it's normal cheese pizza, because I don't like anything on my pizza unless it's like a seasoning. Normal cheese pizza, I'll eat like normal cheese pizza from pretty much like anywhere. It's really good. I like it. If I've ever watched both, which was better story wise, Super Sentai or its Power Rangers equivalent? The only things I've watched both of are Magi Ranger Mystic Force and Shinkenger and Samurai. And for both cases, I would say the Sentai is better. But to be fair, it's I mean Shinkenger and Samurai are like the same thing. It's just Samurai's like a copycat version of Shinkenger, so that one's kind of unfair. And then Mystic Force and Magi Ranger. I think I prefer Magi. Or yeah, I said I prefer Magi Ranger because of the family thing, but I from what I remember, like I liked Mystic Force. I have like some nostalgia with it. So, um, do I prefer a light heart or dark, serious tokusatsu, or a combination of both? I'd say a combination. I like when the show can like it can make me laugh and stuff, but then it can also get really serious because I don't want to be like if I had to pick one, I would probably go with lighthearted because I don't want to be like depressed every time I watch a tokusatsu. Do I like Yu-Gi-Oh? I've never had any interest in Yu-Gi-Oh. Do I like Gundam? I don't want to say I hate Gundam, but I've just never had interest in Gundam. It's always like, oh, they're giant robots. Okay. I've never like watched a show. I've never bought a Gundam. However, my father has bought Gundam just to build, and I helped him with a couple, and I think he bought one recently and he doesn't want to build it. So he's just like, you can build it. So I haven't built it, but I have it. Uh, so did I paint my Muteki figure red? This is a fun question. You can see right here. No, he's right there. He's still gold. It's all digital editing. It's just gold Muteki. I took a bunch of pictures of gold Muteki, and it's completely digital editing. I've not tampered with the figure at all. um, What do I think about Kamen Rider Deathstream or D-Stream? I think it's Deathstream. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. And his Neo bursts he has with blah blah blah. And what I like in Neo burst power from any Vice Am. This is a fun question. Um, so I haven't seen the episode sub. I'm actually gonna watch it tonight, but I have seen it. So I mean, I guess it doesn't really change. Deathstream is awesome. I love like the look of it. Such a cool suit. The the belt. Okay, so the belt originally I was like when they first showed off the Veil driver. I actually have it right here. Let me just. I got the Demons driver, so when they released or showed off the Veil driver like 3 months ago, I was like, I already have this, and it seems like they do the same thing, so I'm not gonna get it. And then they showed off the Deathstream driver, and I was like, okay, with two big chunks on the side, it's pretty cool. They showed off the sounds then, and I was like, okay, the sounds are really cool. And then there's like a video where they showed off the sounds or like the screen, and the screen does like very different things from the Demon's driver, and the voice effect is different. It's a different voice they use in a normal Vice Stamp voice, and apparently the toy like it switches between the modes. So it's like a Veil driver mode and a Deathstream driver mode. And at that point, I was like, all right. So I have pre-ordered the Deathstream driver. So you guys can expect an unboxing of that circa next year when it comes out because I bought it and I think it's really cool. So I'm actually gonna have, if you follow me on Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter and you have Twitter, you should follow me on Twitter because I've been talking a lot about Revice recently. I pretty much am gonna be. I said I wouldn't like buy anything from the main line, and I still haven't. I'm not really interested in the main belts, but the Demon's driver with the LED screen and now the Deathstream driver with the LED screens are both really cool. So I'm trying to do like a Demon's driver display where I've got the main Demon's driver, I've got the Deathstream driver, and then I've also gotten the Over Demons stamp set, so I can get the Over Demons down to the Demons driver, and I also got the Demons Troopers set, so I could get the Demons. You can get the sound no matter what, but just to get the Demons Trooper stamps. So I'm basically gonna have like a Demons driver, like continuation set. I didn't get like the genomix, like the random genomixes that Demons has, because they were kind of expensive stamp sets, and I didn't really for when I just had the Demons driver, all I'm getting it for is like how it looks essentially, and like the little animal it makes in the screen. So I was kind of like, I don't need like Mogura is cool, but I don't really want to buy Mogura. Isn't the Komodo Dragon stamp a pre-order exclusive with the Deathstream driver? Yes, they did something so stupid where you could only get the Komodo Dragon stamp if you pre-ordered the Demon's driver between like Sunday when it came out, or Monday I think, and like yesterday. Now I think if you went to the premium Bandai site and pre-ordered a Demon's or a Deathstream driver, you wouldn't get the Komodo Dragon stamp. However, Big Bad Toy Store is selling the stamp separately, so if you do want just the stamp, you can actually go and buy the stamp, so that's cool. But I don't know. I managed to get the Komodo Dragon stamp, and that's also another thing too that made me get it. If it was a free Vice stamp essentially, so it was like I'd be willing to buy the thing again and get to buy the toy and get a new Vice stamp. So, I did that. So, if I were to watch any tokusatsu that isn't a Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, or Ultraman related, what would it be? Gridman. I don't know if that's Ultraman related. If you count that as Ultraman related because it's like a Ultraman spinoff, I'd probably go with Garo. I haven't seen any Garo, but I think it would be cool. Do I think the other Dawn brothers will get alter forms? No, because within the universe they said that the alter form, it like Don Momotaro is like a cheat character because he's not part of the game, so he gets an alter form because he's like a different entity. Same with Don Dragoku because he's like not part of the game, and then I guess now same with Don Murasame, he's not part of the game. They're all not companions essentially, so they all have alters. But the other Dawn brothers, they're not getting alters for now. Maybe they will give them alters, but within the rules of the universe, they said they're not going to. So the Komodo Dragon is like the Don Oni Taijin gear that was pre-order exclusive. It is exactly like that, except the difference here is it's a premium Bandai pre-order exclusive. So it's like the next step up. Like, at least I think they've guaranteed that every order in that time period would get you Komodo Dragon, but it is kind of insane that they made that a weird promotional item, not just a premium Bandai release. Because I've never seen premium Bandai do something like that. It's always like a premium Bandai thing is just a separate release. It's not like a pre-order bonus with a driver. I saw that and I was like, guys. Thoughts on Shin Kamen Rider 2023 and its updated suits. Shin Kamen Rider looks really cool. I've seen Shin Godzilla. I want to see Shin Ultraman, so I'm gonna see Shin Kamen Rider. I just like Hideaki Anno's style is pretty cool. So as a Kamen Rider, I'd watch it. The suits are really great. I do love the updates. If I had to be like a little nitpicky, I don't love the suits. Ichigo and Nigo look too similar to me. Like, I think they needed to give Nigo the red gloves or like red boots. Other than that, like, they look too similar to me, so I'm stupid, so I'm just gonna be like, what who is who? I'm gonna be like very confused during the movie. Maybe I have to use all my brain power to tell them apart. And also, just another thing that kind of bugs me is that it doesn't seem like we're getting like a full henshin. It seems like he's gonna be wearing the suit the whole time, and then to henshin he just puts on the helmet. And that's a little disappointing because I would like a full, rider henshin on the bike or the normal things, whatever. That would be awesome. Maybe if he just had the belt like stapled to him the whole time, because I think the effect that he's going for is it's like when he becomes a Kamen Rider, he loses his humanity, so he's literally always like that kind of cyborg thing. But it kind of bugs me a little bit. I'd like a full henshin effect. And on that note as well, like the hair sticking out of the helmet, I don't like that. That's not my thing at all. It kind of bugs me seeing like a Kamen Rider with real person hair sticking out. So I'm excited for the movie, but the suits are a little like, or at least those suits, the monster suits, they look really cool. So have I watched Akiba Ranger? I have not watched Akiba Ranger. So do I ever think that Kamen Rider will return to America? I don't think they're ever going to do a Kamen Rider adaptation again, given how they're pushing so hard to get Kamen Rider in the West subtitled. So we've got, they just announced Kuga's getting a physical release, and then Futo P is getting a whole. They're releasing that over here, so I think it's subbed. I don't think they're doing the dub for now. So I don't think they're ever going to adapt it again. I think they're just going to be bringing it over. And I'm fine with that. It lets me make my rider potential videos and not worry about anything happening. Weird question, but how old am I? I am as old as Majin. Not like the actresses, the character. So, if, Any thoughts on Kamen Rider Black Sun? I'm really looking forward to Black Sun. Black Sun looks really cool. I mean, we don't really have much to it. It's just... It looks like Amazon's. Like, it's giving me like the Amazon's vibe, but I haven't seen Amazon's because I hear it's like very gory, so I don't really want to like watch a gory show. But if this is like Amazon's with like that maturity adult level stuff, but not super bloody, I'm into it. I mean, even if it's not like that, the suits look really cool, and they said they're gonna give it a Western release, so I'll watch the Western release, like brand new Kamen Rider show released Western. I'll watch it. Like it could be bad. I'll watch it. It's fine. Have I heard of Power Rangers Cosmic Fury? Yes, I have. And also asked, what do I think they're going to adapt for it? I think it's going to be Q Ranger. But I also think it could be Q Major. But I also think it could be nothing. Like it could be like it's real. But I think it could be like a new show or something like that. So I don't know. it could be many things, but it's exciting to actually have a name for Kamen Rider. So, or not Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, not Kamen Rider. What do I think of Giffard Rex? The jingle's really cool. I love the suits. I love having like the base forms, but like with this exoskeleton exoskin, whatever, like attached onto it. That's a really cool aesthetic. The stamp is really cool, like how it splits in half and Vice actually gets to wear a Kamen Rider belt. I just feel like its implementation in the show was a bit disappointing. I guess it wasn't that bad, but it was a bit disappointing, and I'm still upset we haven't gotten an insert theme. um, Everything that a Shin Sentai will happen. I don't think so. I don't know. If the Shin Sentai doesn't sound Shin Super Sentai, Shin Go Ranger, I don't know. It doesn't sound very interesting. And given how they've already kind of done that, like the Go Ranger, no, like Zenkaiser is kind of like a Shin Go Ranger, even though that's not like the tone that the other Shin movies have. So I don't know. I mean, if they make one, I'm not opposed to it. That would be cool. How would I handle or rewrite Kamen Rider Decade? I haven't seen Kamen Rider Decade, but I hear it's bad, so I would make it good. Favorite Kamen Rider movie outside of Xaid? Probably maybe the Beyond Generations, the recent Beyond Generations movie that I reviewed. That's totally not a plug. Um, that was a really cool movie. I really enjoyed that. So, if Don Momo is a Matrix agent, then why can't he hack the others like a million points? I mean, he's not a hack character. Like they said, he's a cheat character in that he's like super powerful, but he's not like God. He can't give anyone points. So, opinions on Geo versus Decade. I have not seen that because I just didn't like Geo enough to be like, I'm gonna watch this whole mini series about Geo. And I haven't seen Decade either, so it was like, if Decade's half, like, I'm probably, I don't know enough of these characters to want to watch the show, or this mini series, so. Thoughts on the Reiwa era riders? Zero One's okay. Saber, I love Saber, and Revice so far, I think is also okay. I think, I love Saber, and I'd probably put Revice a bit below it, and then Zero One's below that. Favorite music genre? Yume Miyamoto music. In my opinion, which Kamen Riders would be great as members of a future Super Sentai? Kamen Rider Baron, Kamen Rider Marika, another Agito, Kamen Rider Laser, and Kamen Rider Blade. Go Rider! If I can make a Sentai, Majin unrelated, what would that be like? I have no idea. I've never really. I think I've said this like a long time ago, but my thought process when making like an original tokusatsu or something was kind of like, if you make a Kamen Rider season and you give the rider different forms, if you make each form an individual character, then you have a Sentai. I mean, obviously it's not that it's not that easy, but that's kind of like what I always looked at it as when you're making like a thing. So I kind of just would always make a Kamen Rider. Um, I've never really thought about a Sentai. I would probably make a video game Sentai, and it's just Xaid, but now they're a Sentai. It'd actually be kind of cool to get like a Sentai that's like a Rider season, like each Sentai Ranger is like their own faction or something, and then at a certain point they all become a team. I mean, it's kind of what Dawn Brothers is doing, but I'm like to the next level. I'm saying like nobody's working together; they're all like fighting each other. um, if I could choose any three Kamen Rider seasons to adapt, what would I choose? Probably Xaid, Saber, and I don't know. Build, I guess. I don't know. Definitely Exit and Saber. But other than that, I don't know. Actually, it would be kind of fun to see Revice and see like what they do with the Demon's Driver toy. I mean, they probably wouldn't even make it, but um, Thoughts on the Hitosukis and Alters and Dawn Brothers since it's been a while. The Hitosukis are really cool. I think I'm saying that wrong. The monsters are really cool. I really like what they're doing with their design being like based off previous Sentai, but also like the way they act, the story around them is also connected to the previous Sentai, and I think that's really, really awesome. Like they have the Jetman monster. There's a love triangle in Jetman, so the Jetman monster is connected to a love triangle. They have the Car Ranger monster was a dude at a school, and the Car Rangers went to school. Sorry, not the Car Rangers. The Turbo Ranger. The Turbo Ranger monster went to school because the Turbo Rangers were famously in a school. Who else? Ryu Soldier. I mean, Ryu Soldier. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the Ryu Soldier monster plays ping pong, and there's a very, very famous episode of Ryu Soldier that starts with the game of ping pong. I'm not sure if that was the intent they were going for. And also, the purple monster in that episode dies, and there's a purple character in that ping pong episode of Ryu Soldier. So, I don't know if that was intentional, but I don't know. They've got really clever touches with the monsters, and I think that's really cool. The alters look cool. That's about, or at least the base forms. Some of the other forms are like kind of stupid. But like the base alters are super cool. Don Momotaro alter, really awesome. I love the Dragoku alter, how he transforms into a dragon. And the Murasame alter, I'm actually going to buy that one. Because it looks super badass and it turns into a super badass shark. So, I need that one. Have I ever heard of Page Productions? I have not. Ever notice we never permanently change a ranger user like we do a rider a few times? Like how there's multiple caliber users but not multiple Kirame yellow users. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I think it's kind of like they can't really do that in a Sentai. Like it would be really weird. Like they open the show with like, here are our 5 characters, and then one of them is just no longer that character. Like Kirame Yellow, we're introduced to Tamatomo, and we never see Tamatomo as Kirame Yellow again. That's really weird. Like in like I know Fies did that where like the main character was not Fies for a few episodes. You cannot do that now. Like you can't have the main writer not transform into the main writer. I think that's just like, I don't know. I feel like that kind of messes up their marketing and stuff. My thoughts on synths in anime. Robots that look like humans, act and think like humans. I have not interacted with any synths in anime that I've watched. So, am I going to do an unboxing video of Kamen Rider Revice? Well, since I only have the Demon's Driver as I showed off, I'm gonna hold it up again because this thing's really cool. I recorded an unboxing of this, but the audio is kind of bad, so I might do a video. Let me know if you want to see the Demon's Driver unboxing, as I might make that video. But the only other Revice unboxing I can definitely say I'll be doing is the Deathstream driver set when I get that next year. Other than that, like I just have a couple Vice stamp sets ordered that I'm just not going to do an unboxing on, or an unboxing video. Like it's just a couple Vice stamps that I'm only using in one belt, because this is the only belt I have, this is the only belt I want. So, if I ever get a Revice driver, maybe I'll do an unboxing. But I can't say for sure because all the other Revice stuff doesn't really interest me. Thoughts on fan toku productions and what are some that I really like? I can't think of any right now. I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any. Top favorite Kamen Rider Henshin belts. In no particular order. The Gamer Driver, Sword Driver, Demon's Driver, Deno belt, and I can't think of one other one. That's 4 I got. I want to say the Deathstream Driver, but it's just the Demon's Driver, so I'm not gonna put that. Am I excited for the Ultraman Decker series? I guess. Like, I'm not really over the moon excited about it, but I'm gonna watch the premiere this this Friday or Saturday whenever it comes out. I think I'll do a review on it. Let me know. Actually, I would love to hear from you guys if you want to see me do a review on the first episode of Decker. Because I still haven't finished Trigger. but I feel like they wouldn't make the first episode super relevant to Trigger so far. So I feel like that would be fine. I mean, I don't care about spoilers anyway, so I feel like I should be fine watching the first episode, but I'm not sure if I'm super like, oh, I want to review Decker. Because I just haven't really. I don't know. I mean, I've been like seeing the new stuff. Like, I follow the Ultraman accounts, so I see like, oh, this is what our main protagonist is. And other than that, I'm like, I mean, this Ultraman stuff looks cool. I'm really excited, Ultraman wise. Not kind of excited. They announced the Dark Ring for the Orb Memorial sets because because why not? Like they announced. Okay, if you guys didn't know, Orb is my favorite Ultraman season. I have a review on it. You should go watch it. And then I wanted to buy an Orb ring, and I bought an Orb ring, but it didn't have any cards, so I was like, okay, great, this sucks. And then later that year, they announced the Ultra Replica Orb ring with like all of the cards. So I was like, okay, I need that. So I bought that. I have it over there. And then a couple months, no, like a month or so after, or a couple weeks after I think it released, then they revealed they're doing a whole other card set that like completes the entire thing. So I was like, okay, so I bought that. Might do an unboxing on that. I don't know. And then like yesterday, last night, or I mean technically this morning, I guess, they announced they're doing an Ultra Replica Dark Ring, which was very, I mean, they're the same mold, so it was like 100% expected they do that at some point, but I didn't think they would do that before the next card set even came out. So I was very upset. I'm like, how are you guys doing this to me already? And the reason I was also upset is because I have to buy it. Someone just asked, what are my opinions on Juggler? I love Juggler. Juggler is so cool. In Orb, he's awesome, and then when he's in Zet, he's like even better. So I was like, I have the Orb ring, I would have to buy the Dark ring, and now they're releasing the Dark ring so soon already, and I have to buy it. So I'm upset at Bandai. I hate you, Bandai. If you're watching, Bandai, I despise you, but I also, cool toys. So favorite secondary rider, Kamen Rider Cross Z. Do I have any Kamen Rider 01 belts? I have nothing from Kamen Rider 01. The closest thing I have to 01 are the Saber books. Other than that, I have no 01 merch. I think. Yeah, I don't. That's it. I had to make sure. Do I collect Kamen Rider movie toys? The only movie Rider toys I have are the two X8 Gashettes. Other than that, then like the other gadgets. But I'm not like, oh, this is a Kamen Rider movie toy, I have to buy it. I'm going to lower my chair a bit so you can maybe see me a bit better. There you go. Hi. What name for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger would I want for Power Rangers? Majin Sentai Majin Ranger. Do I know why I hate the Kamen Rider Falcon Driver? I do know why I hate it. It's my opinion. I'm actually going to raise myself a bit because I went too high, I think. There we go. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to go too in depth because my next video may be explaining that. But basically, it shouldn't have been a whole new belt. It's a whole new belt that does nothing interesting. There's no like unique gimmick or whatever to it. It just should have been an emblem because it doesn't do anything unique as an entire new sword. Do I think it would be cool to get a Kamen Rider season based off of Super Sentai? No, I don't know. I mean, we get like the crossover forms, and I'm okay with that. I don't need like a whole show where they're doing like a crossover thing with the two seasons. What belts do I have for Kamen Riders? I have all the XA belts, Gamer Driver, both Bulgle drivers. I have a Drive driver. I have a Zengoku driver, and then I have everything from Saber. Well, I don't have the Dooms. I don't have the Falcon belt. I don't have the Dooms belt. And then... Oh, well, then I have the Demons driver. And then I'm just going to keep holding this up because I love this thing. And then I got the D-Stream driver. And then so far, it's the only belt I have. Or the only upcoming belt I have. Do I wish that Juggler could become an Ultraman? I actually hope he doesn't become an Ultraman. I mean, like, Yeah, I don't really want him to become an Ultraman. I just like, I hope they have him grow big more. Like, I like him as the big juggler, like, not when he's in. I mean, Zep Pandan is awesome. But I kind of would like if we got more of Juggler, who is just like the big Juggler, like from the End of Orb and Jeed movie. I would like that. I feel like he's more interesting when he's not an Ultraman. How is my day going? My day is going pretty good. Will I get any Dawn Brothers merch? The Majin Gear works in it. I have the Enya Ride-On, if that counts as Dawn Brothers merch. Um, and then that's all I have so far. I will probably get a Dawn Blaster eventually because it does work with the Majin Gear and all the other stuff, all the other gears. I have a bunch of Sentai gears, so I will probably buy that so I can use those Sentai gears. And then I need the sword. The sword is super badass. Basically, the only things I really want is the gun and the sword at some point. Because the sword is super badass. Like the standbys it makes, the way it looks as well with all the lights, it's fantastic. It's cooler than the gun. Like I'm basically only buying the gun so I can use the sword. um, will I be doing short skit videos like how I did my face reveal? Probably not. If I did, I'd do like shorts, like the YouTube shorts. But I kind of don't like the idea of shorts, so that's why I haven't really made a single short in like the full time they've been out. Do I have the two-side driver from Kamen Rider Revice? I do not. The only Revice spell I have is the Demon's driver, and then the Deathstream driver that I pre-ordered. Notice I keep calling it the Deathstream driver because I still don't really like the Veil driver. I'd like it better when it's Deathstream. um, Thoughts on Kamen Rider Zero One? I have a whole review on Zero One, so you can go watch that. I will say that my opinion has probably lessened over time because the more I've thought about it, I'm like, I don't think they really thought this whole thing through. Have I seen the Ultra Force animated movie? Nope. Would I like to see a romance Kamen Rider series where both lovers are Kamen Riders and the villains are representing hate or no love? I think that might be the plot of Kamen Rider Kiva, but I haven't seen Kiva, so I can't confirm. Outside Toku, any other shows I've watched recently? Yesterday, I just finished The Umbrella Academy 3. Very cool. I really like that show. The day before, I watched or finished Stranger Things 4. Also very cool. One of my favorite shows. And then I don't think I finished. Oh, I mean, I finished Obi-Wan before that. Finishing a lot of shows recently. I think next week or very soon I'm gonna have to watch not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel. I haven't watched any of Miss Marvel, but I do want to watch it because I love MCU stuff. So I will have to watch Miss Marvel in time for the finale next Wednesday, and then other than that, I haven't watched anything. Why is it that I like the Demon's Driver so much? Here, I'll show you. That's why. the LED screen and the little animations gives it this like super interesting, awesome looking level of like complexity, I guess, that like no other belt really has. So I got it for that because it just looks awesome, and the jingle is really cool as well. And I really like that's its whole gimmick, like the animations. It doesn't really use the vice stamps other than making cute little animations, and I think that's really cool. So, what are my thoughts on Oni Taijin and Tora Dragon Jin and the change they're bringing to Sentai mechas going forward? Don Oni Taijin looks awesome, like one of the best Sentai mechas in my opinion. It looks super cool. And then the other one, the Sixth Ranger one, it looks fine. It doesn't look horrible, but it's kind of like okay. And then the the like them as mechas going forward. I think it's super cool. Sentai is actually trying to give them uh like articulation, like actual articulation. Because I've just sent the Zeng Hydra mechas, and they just I mean, it's fine. I bought them for a reason because I like them, but I think it's super cool. They're trying to make them posable. So you don't see the Primitive Dragon Wonder Ride book in the background. It's actually right down here. I have it in the Elemental one. I think, yeah, I have them both down here. They're behind my Demon's Driver because I don't have enough space for everything in my room. I need to get new shelves, because I have too much stuff right now. Well, it's not like I have too much stuff. I mean, I do, but it is I have too much stuff I want to show off right now. Because I had like Geo stuff like down over here before, and then I put that in storage. Basically, I only have like out the shows that I actually really like. So I've got my X-Age stuff, I got my Saber stuff. Also, something with having Saber out is I have all the books, so it's kind of like I want to show that off. And then I've got Zen Hydra over there, and Orb, a bit of Orb. Actually, Orb's usually behind me. But it's kind of a mess, so I kind of need to fix that all up. What site do I use to watch Toku? The internet. Hawk Hillies has a few videos where he talks about where to watch Toku, and I use the thing at the end of that. So, do I think Don Murasame is actually the guy in the prison? No. I mean, we have the voice of Don Murasame, and it is not him. It is a different person. So, what do I think of the Crimson Veil stamp and Crimson Veil as a whole? Yeah, I mean, I didn't buy it. I don't really have an interest in it, but it's a very cool looking stamp. And the form is very cool looking. As you mentioned, it's red, and that makes it better than Jack Vice, in my opinion. I like to look at it more than Jack Vice because it's a cool red Vice stamp and a cool red Jack Vice form, which is already a really cool form. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I like its implementation as well, where he doesn't use a belt. He's like a pseudo rider, where he uses it to transform into like a rider form, but he's not actually called a common rider. So Bang Bang Tank unboxing. That's just someone just said Bang Bang Tank unboxing. But yes, I will be unboxing Bang Bang Tank and the other thing, the Genmu, the president stuff. I'll do that all in one video when I get that sometime next year. I think Team Common Rider still has orders up, so. My thoughts and idea for Juggler to have a series all to himself. I don't have any thoughts on that. I would be kind of interesting to see something with him in the Dark Ring before Orb, but I think they've covered that in like novel stuff, so I don't know. Actually, maybe we could see what he does with the Ultra Zet Riser after Zet. Like, what is he? Where does he go for like a few years or something? Did I know that the first 2 or 3 episodes of every Kamen Rider ever are available for us all to watch on YouTube for free? I did know that. Yes, it's very cool. What are some of the things I'd change about X8? I do go very in depth about that in my reviews, but very, very simply, I'd change the end. Like the last 5 episodes, I would make that, like, either just remove them entirely. Kamen Rider Chronicle ends with Kronos getting defeated, or make the last 5 episodes about fighting Gambius. Don't keep putting in Kronos in there. What are my least favorite series of the big 3? Sentai, Ultraman, Rider. Ultraman would be Trigger. Sentai would be Lupat, and Rider would be Geo. Which series do I think is suited for Cosmic Fury? Q Ranger or Q Major? I mean, Q Ranger just looks more like a Cosmic Fury thing because they've got all the sparkles. Well, not the sparkles, like the space effects, which is like cosmic. But I feel like Q Major could work with that if they wanted to make the gems like the cosmic power or something. So, would I like a Forever Pink with Maji Pink? Kirame Pink, and Majin. Yes, I would love to have more Majin content. Have I seen Ultra Fight, the Destined Crossroads, or any of the Ultra Fight series? I've seen the New Generation one and the Absolute Conspiracy one. I haven't seen Destined Crossroads yet. What is my most expensive Transformer? I mean the Lego Optimus Prime I think is my most expensive. But if that's not like an actual real Transformer, I think it would be, well, I have a couple combiners up there. So either the combiners, but if that's also not counted because it's a bunch of robots, I think it would be my Studio Series Grimlock, which is actually one of my favorite figures. It looks awesome. Do I think Power Rangers Cosmic Fury will be a mini series? I have no idea. It could be 50 million episodes, but probably not. Am I weird for saying that Shinkenger is the best Hoku ever? No, go for it. Shinkenger's pretty cool. What are my hopes and plans for the future of the channel? That I don't die. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow. That's a Revice reference. Right now, just kind of like, well, I mean, I'm hoping maybe I can get more reviews, like, because right now I'm kind of behind on like stuff I've watched but haven't reviewed, so I would like to be able to catch up with that. I have very bad time management skills. I think I would kind of like to retrofit my reviews because right now I have them as like big script stuff, and I would kind of like to trim down and just maybe make them a bit shorter, unless it's like a season that I really love and I want to talk a lot about it. I might just make like short little things like not Orb, Trigger and Zet. Like I do want to make reviews on it, but it's like I don't really have a big enough emotional attachment to write like a whole big thing. But I feel like for a season review, I should. So I kind of want to like move past writing big whole things and just do like little chit chats about a show. So. Is the Studio Series Grimlock 86 or Bay? It's I forgot they just do G1 in Studio Series now. It's the Michael Bay Grimlock, the Age of Extinction Grimlock. What's a Rider Sentai motif that I would like to see? I don't care. They can do whatever. I'd like to see Sentai do the video game thing. I know that Mega Ranger's video game themed, but I hear it's not that video game themed. So I'd like to do a Mega Ranger, or like a whole video game Sentai. For Kamen Rider, I don't know, Majin Kamen Rider, there you go. Do I watch memes? Yes, I think many people online, if anyone's online for any period of time, I think they do watch memes. Thoughts on Q Ranger? I have a review on it, but it's very old and it's very bad, so if you want to watch that, you can. But briefly, I like Q Ranger. It's very it's cool. It's the first Sentai I watched live, so yeah, I have an emotional attachment to Q Ranger. Thoughts on IDW Autobot Megatron? I think it's a really interesting idea. I kind of wished they adapted that for Power Rangers. I almost said Power Rangers. Robots in the Skies, the Prime sequel. I kind of wish they did something with an Autobot Megatron because I think it really bugs me how they end Prime with Megatron dissolving the Decepticons, and then the Autobots are like, in control essentially. They won, and then the next season's kind of like, oh, the Autobot Decepticon war is still continuing. There are just some Decepticons that are still just moseying about. And then we don't really know where Megatron is. Like, I think multiple Decepticons tried to contact Megatron. Or I think, at least Soundwave does. Like, Soundwave's whole goal is to contact Megatron when he comes back. And I'm just thinking the whole time, like, I love Soundwave. I love the stuff with Soundwave. And I'm thinking, like, if you contacted him, what happens? Like, he stopped being Decepticon. So he just shows up and he's like, dude, I was taking a nap. Like, can you leave me alone? I think that's what IDW did. I think, right? I heard, like, Soundwave sees Autobot Megatron and he, like, gets very sad because he sees an Autobot. So it actually would have been kind of cool to incorporate that into Robots in Disguise. Thoughts on rage slash uncontrollable forms? They're cool. I feel like they're kind of being overdone in recent years because Zero One did it, Saber did it, Revice did it, and they're all super forms. I kind of would like to see it take a break next season. Um, will I get any Dawn Brothers plushies or the rest of the Zenkaiger plushies? No, I've sold the rest of the Zenkaiger plushies because I only need one. So thoughts on anime? I like the few anime I've seen. SSSS Gridman is peak. It's amazing. Um, yeah, that's about it. I might do a video on it actually on all three, like the Gridman, SSSS Gridman, and then Dynazenon. I might try to do a video on all that before the movie comes out next year. Um, so why don't I like Ultraman Z and Trigger? I like Ultraman Z. I don't think I've said I don't like Ultraman Z, but I do like Ultraman Z, and I mean I don't hate Trigger. What I was saying earlier is just that like I don't have a huge love for either Zet or Trigger where I want to make a very long review on it. So, would I recommend watching Cyberverse? I've been out of the Transformers fandom for a while and it looks interesting. Yes, yes. Cyberverse is all on YouTube, so you can just roll Transformers Cyberverse and you can watch the whole thing. And it's just really amazing. I love Cyberverse. Like, without spoilers, the first season is a bit slow, but it's kind of like, it's fun what it does, and it's basically set up then for season 2 to just be like this super crazy awesome story, and 3 as well. 3 does something, season 3, I can't forget if it's season 3, like halfway through season 3 or the end of season 2. I think it's like the middle of season 3. Does something like a plot line that like I never would have expected a Transformers kid show to do, and it's fantastic. And then the movies are also pretty cool. So Cyberverse is one of my favorite Transformers seasons. It's like for maybe it's because I was just going into it with the expectation they're like all like 11-minute episodes. The animation style is like kind of cheap. It seems like it's just for kids. Like the toy line is just like the really cheap toy line, so it just kind of seemed like, oh, this is just for kids. But it's like really really good. Like it does so many like amazing things with the Transformers universe that like I never would have really expected. So definitely would recommend Cyberverse. Even like if you've never seen a Transformers season, like it does kind of introduce you into Transformers in that first season. So definitely recommend Cyberverse. I might make a video on Cyberverse. I don't know. I took like notes on it. I always say I might make a video on this. I took like notes on Cyberverse when I was watching it because I wanted to do a video on it, and I obviously have never made a video on it. But I know I really love Cyberverse. So, would I maybe like the idea of IDW Megatron teaming up with Zenkaiger? I would prefer Shattered Glass Megatron teams up with the Zenkaiger because she has Majine's voice. What animes do I watch? Yume Miyamoto animes. Have I seen TMNT 2012? If that's the one where Raph is like in a Power Ranger suit for half of it, and then I think Casey is Captain America, like it's Chris Evans doing the voice, and I think there's a bunch of monsters and stuff. There's a dude named Mr. Winters. Then yes, I have seen it. I watched it a long time ago, like all the time. Not all the time, but I watched it a lot when I was younger, so I can't. That's why I can remember like so much of it. But I haven't seen it in a while. But I do remember enjoying it. But I think I was confused because I was too young to not understand like that it was a sequel to one of the older cartoons, and I just didn't understand half of what was going on. Would I ever do a video on how I would fix Trigger? I would no. I would just talk about it in a review, how like my problems with it and how to fix it, or how I would fix it. What cartoons do I watch? Transformers, I guess. I don't really watch that many cartoons, like American cartoon stuff, really. I guess as I mentioned, like at the beginning, I watched Ninjago, but that's it. I'm gonna take a sip of water because we've reached the 1 hour mark. Isn't that crazy? Thoughts on TMNT? They're cool, I guess. I've never been a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, but I've watched some of that one cartoon, the one before the rise of the TMNT, I think. And then I've watched the Michael Bay movies, and they were fine. So I think it was funny. Watching them was funny because I think at a certain point, I was watching it with someone, and then there's a shot where Shredder's like doing stuff with his knives as he's walking, and the person I was watching it with was like, he's just Lockdown from Transformers. Like, this is the same shot from Transformers 4. And I thought it was really funny. Do I think Power Rangers should go back to the cast being martial artists? I don't think they need to. If they get a bunch of martial artists and that's like part of the season, like it's a team of martial artists, then that would be really cool. But I don't really think they need to. Scrolling through a few of the older comments. Let's see. Let's scroll very far up. Let's see if there's something I should answer I haven't answered yet. I don't know. I can't find anything. I did watch Ninjago. I watched it when I was younger, and then I rewatched it earlier this month. Not month. No, like earlier this year, because I wanted to. Thank you for coming to the stream, Cyber Queen. They have to leave. Best Kamen Rider Last Resort ability. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Would I like Majin, my Zenkaiger OC Ryu Kaiser, and your Zenkaiger OC Zenkai Buster team up? Sure, yeah. Would I like to see a movie or series where the Power Rangers adaptation and Super Sentai they've adapted team up? I would love a Sentai Power Ranger adaptation team up. Like, that would just that the novelty of that is just so cool. Like, they could pull any season to do that, and it would be super awesome. Like at Power Morphicon, we're gonna have Troy, Super Mega Force Red, and Captain Marvelous, Gokai Red. They're gonna meet up because they're both gonna be there, and that's gonna like blow the entire universe apart. Like, that is gonna just the people meeting is gonna be crazy. As a show or like a movie, like 10 times crazier. That's with the whole cast. Like, that would be really cool. Thoughts on Pokemon? I have watched a bit of the Pokemon anime, and I have owned a few Pokemon cards. But I like at one point I was very into Pokemon, but nowadays it's like, okay, I don't really care about Pokemon anymore. I saw Detective Pikachu though, and that was kind of cool. So, have I ever seen Lupin the Third? Nope, I have not seen Lupin the Third. I have seen Power Rangers. I was gonna say Kaito Sentai Lupin Ranger versus Keisat Sentai Power Ranger. That is one of the Sentai of all time. Have I played any Kamen Rider games, and do I like / recommend any? I have played. The only one I've actually played is Memory of Heroes. Memory of Heroes was a very cool. So I'd recommend that one. That was a very cool game. I liked the. I saw Double, so I knew Double. I saw 01, and then I haven't seen those, but it was still really cool to play as the riders. There's like some really cool like little mechanisms in the game, like the form changes and stuff like that is really cool. So I would recommend Memory of Heroes. What are my thoughts on Kamen Rider Black Sun? I'm excited for Black Sun. The suits look really cool. I think I prefer Shadow Moon as a suit, but both suits look awesome. And in the little bits they've shown us, like it seems like they're going to be like much more mature and like focused on storytelling and stuff. So that's really cool. I mean, they are selling toys though, but the toys are all adult toys. So they're all oriented towards the adult collectors. So, I mean, clearly the show is like more of an adult targeted season. So that's gonna be really cool to see. Do I prefer a long or short tokusatsu series? I would actually prefer a short one. I feel like in recent years, like at least the two Toei shows, Sentai and Rider, Like they just go on for way too long, and they're like they start spinning their wheels at certain points. So Ultraman with like the 25 season stuff, I would prefer more stuff like that. Although to be fair, Ultraman also kind of goes on too long. I feel like there's still a lot of filler in Ultraman, and that's half the length. So, would it be cool for a Super Mega Force and Gokaiger team up movie? Yes, I would love a Super Mega Gokai team up. Am I going to Power Morphicon 2022? I don't think I've publicly said this, but yes, I am going to be at Power Rangers Morphicon. Power Rangers Morphicon? Power Morphicon this year. It's going to be my first time going to Power Morphicon, actually, so I'm excited. I don't really have any plans. I'm just going to go and see see people there. Because they haven't really announced. I mean, I'm not really super attached to any like Power Rangers actors, so I'll go meet the Dino Fury cast that they have there. I'll go. I mean, actually, I'll definitely go meet Captain Marvelous, because I haven't seen Gokaiger, but it would be kind of cool to meet Captain Marvelous. Just it's Captain Marvelous. He's the dude everyone talks about. So it's like, oh my god, it's you. You're the person everyone talks about. When I'm gonna tell him, yo, I make videos on YouTube, and people cannot shut up about you on Zenkaiger videos. I'm not gonna say that to him, but I feel like I kind of want him to get him to sign like a Zenkaiger thing I have, just for the troll, like Gokaiger actor Zenkaiger thing. But I don't really have anything I would have him sign. Like I have a Gary DeLinger, but I don't. You can't really sign a Gary DeLinger, so. Would I like to see a Kamen Rider or Super Sentai series, but in the style and tone of the Neon Genesis Evangelion series? I have not seen Evangelion, or Evangelion, however you're supposed to say it. I haven't. I saw like episode 1. That was it. That was like many, 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 many years ago. I can't remember a single thing other than like. I mean, he gets in the robot, I think. I think that's what people say. Like, I know about, like, a bunch of memes and stuff. If you show me an Evangelion character, I will recognize them as an Evangelion character. But I just haven't seen it, so. I can't really say that I want something in that style and tone, but I don't want to say I wouldn't want something in that style and tone, because I don't know what that style and tone is, so. Do I ever have Kamen Rider helmet? I have. I'll be right back. I have my drive helmet from the Halloween video. It's broken now, but. Hold on, let me see if I can. Hello. I have this, but I made this myself. So, I don't have a full-on Kamen Rider helmet. So, I would be cool to have one, but I don't know where I'd put it. So, the only one I'd really want is Muteki. And that's kind of complicated. Like that would cost a pretty penny for someone to make for me, and it would cost a pretty penny and a lot of time for me to make it myself, and I don't know how to make a helmet. Well, I mean, clearly I do a little bit, but not something that advanced. So, yeah, I don't know. Best looking Kamen Rider suit, any forms from movie or series, in my opinion. I would have to go with Hyper Muteki because that's the suit I've chosen to base my entire online personality around. So, thoughts on Kamen Rider, the first and the next movies? I have not seen either of those, but they look cool. I like the suits. Have I watched any abridged series? The only one I've seen is Marcos's Kamen Rider X8 abridged series, because I liked X8 when he was making that, so I watched that. And I guess I might watch the 011. Thoughts on... Oh, no, I already answered that. Congrats on 5 years. Thank you. Oh, there's not even a question here. They're just saying I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. talking about the Climax Heroes games. I have seen people play the Climax Heroes games. They look pretty cool. I would like to play some kind of rider game where you just have a bunch of riders and you're fighting, as opposed to Memory of Heroes was cool, but it was like kind of just like roll. No, I mean it was like, I mean you're only playing as double O's or 0-1. It would be kind of cool to get like play as other riders in the game. Although it was even barely 0-1. That game was like marketed to be 0-1 and double and O's, but it was actually just double and O's. they kind of they kind of they kind of baited us. And then they also like they had a weird, okay, now we're talking about Memory of Heroes. They had a weird like rider inclusion in that, because obviously double O's 0-1. And then Axel was in the game. That was really cool. Birth was in the game. That was really cool. And then Proto Birth was also in the game, and like that was really weird to me, because then there's no other 0-1 rider, and it would have been very easy, I feel, to make Proto Birth. I mean, not very easy, because obviously Proto Birth is the same model as Birth. You just add a little bit of red, and now you have to you've made a brand new character. But it would have been kind of cool to get a like Vulcan in the game, because then we would have had more 0-1, because it was just 0-1. That was all they had. Out of all of the modern rider tropes, what is my least favorite? I don't know, because I don't know what I'd say is like a thing that happens every time, but I'm like, oh, I hate that. I don't, maybe in recent years it's been like the premium Bandai like oversaturation, like towards the end of the season now. Actually, no, it's the I realize it's the last episode final form thing. I think that's really annoying. Like, not like in the case of like Geo or Build, where it's like a new form. I think that's kind of cool. But since 0-1, which granted is not that long ago, but they've had this stupid thing where they're like 0-1 has a new gimmick, Realizing Hopper. He uses it, and it's just Rising Hopper. Like he just looks like Rising Hopper, and it's kind of annoying. It's annoying too how much Toei's like overhyping it. Like they're like 0-1 brand new form. Oh, look at all this merch. All this merch is Realizing Hopper, and it's just Rising Hopper. The toys have more differentiation between real Rising Hopper and Realizing Hopper, because they've got some like glowy effects. So the toys look more different than the suits do in the show. So I don't really like that last episode trope. Granted, Saber, it was fine in Saber, I thought, because they weren't really like, Kamen Rider Saber Wonder Almighty is a brand new form. They were literally like, there was no fanfare when he transformed. It was just Saber, Brave Dragon. And the book itself had like new powers as well. So they were kind of marketing it more as like this new book that has new powers, rather than this brand new form. So I hope Revice just kills it. I hope they don't do it at all. I don't want Live Devil Rex, or that's probably what they're gonna call it. I don't want Live Devil Rex. Please don't do Live Devil Rex. If you have to do Live Devil Rex, make like Revive Vice colors and Vice Revive colors. I'd be okay with that. It's a new form. But please don't just use the base form and be like, Live Devil Rex, guys. Look at his super powerful new form to defeat Gif. Will I watch the new Double anime and read the 0-1 comic? Yeah, I'll definitely watch the Double anime. I might do a review on episode 1 of the Double anime, but I will definitely be watching that because it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. They showed the first 2 episodes at Anime Expo, which is kind of crazy that America got to see the Japanese anime first for Kamen Rider. At least I don't know if other anime has ever done that, but for Kamen Rider, it's kind of crazy that America got to see something first for Kamen Rider. I've never seen that happen ever. And then people said the henshin looked really awesome, so that was like, oh, okay, I love henshins in Kamen Rider, so can't wait to see that. The 0-1 comic, the fact we're getting like official content for a Rider season at all is really awesome. Like, kind of like the same idea, like, oh, we got to see the Double anime first, we're just getting a whole new comic exclusively, so that's really awesome. And then they showed off that we're getting like an exclusive or an original villain rider, which is also like super cool to me that we get an American Kamen Rider essentially. Like that is amazing. Never had that happen before. I mean, like no, yeah, I don't think we had that happen because I don't think Mask Rider and Dragon Knight did anything. So, and it's also really cool that it's even like a kit bash. Like it's got the metal cluster helmet and other like metal cluster pieces. So it's kind of interesting. Like I theoretically, if Toei wanted to, they could make this a real suit and use it for something. So that would be really cool. I highly doubt Toei would ever do that. It's like if this was Super Riot, they would probably put that in the next Ultra Fight. But that I don't think we'll ever see an actual suit of it from Toei. So. Have I seen Beast Morphers? I have seen Beast Morphers. I thought it was an okay season of Power Rangers. It wasn't very bad, but I didn't think it was amazing. The finale was kind of lackluster. Actually, no, the finale's decent, but the thing they did with Steel, I really don't like that. So it kind of drags down my opinion of the whole thing. Do I prefer a large writer cast or a small cast of Kamen Riders? I prefer large. I think, well, no. If it fits within the show. Like X-Aid having different writers based on different video games definitely fits. Ryuki's supposed to be like a battle royale, it fits. Gaim, they're supposed to be like mass-produced belts, so that fits. But stuff like Revice, I would not want a massive cast of Kamen Riders. Like obviously the Demons Troopers, we can have as many Demons Troopers as we want because they're mass-produced. But I don't want like everyone in Revice to be a rider because of the thing they set up with the GIF cells, and they have been doing that, and it's kind of annoying. Although if like everyone's a trooper, that would be kind of badass. So have my opinions on Revice changed? I mean, I don't know what my opinions on Revice were before that you know about, but I mean, I am enjoying Revice still. I think it's a decent writer season. I don't think it was like at first I thought it was just kind of okay. And then there's this middle chunk where I thought it was like super cool. Like I loved Revice. And then after that it kind of fell off and became really mid. And now I'm just like, it's okay. It's pretty cool, I guess. Kamen Rider America when? No Kamen Rider America. I mean, we have that new Kamen Rider dude in the comic. I don't know if that counts. We have more than 2 Demon Troopers though. Like we have 2 Demon Trooper suits, but I think they very successfully given us the idea that there are tons of Demon Troopers. Because if we go back to 01, it's time for a bit of 01 slander. In 01, they established the what were the Raiders, the Horseshoe Crab Raiders. I think they were just called Battle Raiders. Was like Ames Zaya's special like mass-produced rider system. But we only ever saw 2 dudes. We saw like 2 dudes press the progress keys and transform, and it's just like 2 dudes in a fight against like Vulcan or 01 in an episode. And then like we even saw the 2 dudes die, and then like they got replaced, and it was like, okay, I didn't know who they were before, and now I don't know who these 2 new people are, and I also don't care. And then just randomly in that one episode, Thouser has like hundreds of battle raiders, and it's like, where did they all come from? Were they here this whole time? And then I think after that, then we never see battle raiders again. So it was like it was like the worst foot soldier ever in Kamen Rider that I've seen, at least. I thought they were horrible, the battle raiders. In in Revice, the Demons Troopers, they seem to only have 2 suits as well. But the introduction with the Demons Troopers, they had, like, they cut between different fight scenes. So we had, like, one fight scene of 2 Demons Troopers, and then they cut immediately to a different Demons Troopers fight scene. They had a bunch of demons. They had the same, like, Demons Troopers, but they're different people. Then we cut to another fight scene, and they had Demons Troopers. They actually had, like, they have, like, different shots, like, different angles. So it looks like there's multiple Demons Troopers in the one fight. And just doing that in one episode alone, I'm sitting here like, okay, I think they only have 2 suits, but I feel like there's tons of these dudes. And of course it doesn't help, or it does help. They had that whole opening shot where they have like 2 dudes turn into Demon Troopers, and then they just have like hundreds of Demon Troopers. So they kind of did do the 01 thing first, where they were like, look, we do have a lot of these dudes in a green screen, and then now it's like, okay, yeah, you do have a lot. So I just think that, like, I actually feel like there's a foot soldier army, not like two dudes running around in 01, which is just, I'm never gonna forgive 01 for that. It was really dumb because I love foot soldier Kamen Riders. So when I saw we were getting foot soldiers in 01, I was like, okay, this is really cool. And then we did, then we just got two dudes. So and also especially too because it's the Demon's Driver, because it's my favorite belt in Revice, and I think it's super interesting how we have this concept of the Demon's Driver was just one belt that was used by one dude, and then you cut like 40 episodes later, and now there are hundreds of that belt used by hundreds of dudes, and they're led by the one that originally used that belt. I think that's a super interesting concept. It's kind of like Gaim with where we had Kamen Rider Kurakage, and then we got a bunch of Kurakage troopers, but it's like if only one person used the Sengoku driver, I guess. So I think that's really interesting. This is the coolest looking version of Red Muteki I've seen yet. Thank you. Thank you for, and then there's also mention of the 5-year thanks. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the stream. Someone was leaving. We need a Revice comic to give Demon's host a decent backstory. A Revice comic would be kind of cool with more Demon Troopers. Like in that, they could actually just draw hundreds of Demon Troopers, so that would be really cool. Favorite Beetle suit from Revice, like Veil, Over Demons, or Deathstream or Deathstream. Still haven't figured out how I'm supposed to say that. I would say Deathstream for sure. Deathstream looks really cool. Probably, like, ranking wise, Over Demons at the bottom. It's definitely grown on me since we originally saw it, but definitely still don't think it's amazing. Then Veil. I think Veil has done the opposite. Or no, they've both grown on me. Veil has really grown on me since its debuted. Like, if you kind of, the baggy pants are still kind of annoying, but other than that, it's a really cool looking suit. And then Deathstream just looks awesome. I haven't heard from Kamen Rider Veil and Kamen Rider Revice. They're not bringing back Kamen Rider Veil. Like, I'm actually kind of baffled by the fact they introduced Veil as a Kamen Rider, and then you're like, oh my god, he's so powerful, and then never saw that suit again. It just went to the DTFC special, and then they never came back. And I think it's kind of interesting that they showed this rider was so powerful and then never used him again. But it sets up a bunch of story points. But also, I'm like, it's really weird you guys introduced a Kamen Rider for one episode and that was it. And not like one episode at the end. It was literally the halfway point of the show, and then he's gone. What would I do if me and other YouTubers became canon Kamen Riders in a movie? Well, first of all, I already am a canon Kamen Rider in Kamen Rider Beyond Generations. But second of all, that would be really cool. I don't think that's ever going to happen because I'm American, and I'm not going to be in a Japanese movie, but that would still be really cool. Let's hope Kagero will come back and make cool combo with Daiji. Yeah, I hope Kagero comes back, and I don't need him to get a new form, but it would be pretty cool if he gets a new form. It would be kind of cool if he just used Holy Life with the sword. Like, it's like, I don't think that makes sense, but it would be kind of funny. Have I seen Tokume Sentai Go Busters? I have not seen Tokume Sentai Go Busters. Favorite Zector devices from Kamen Rider Kabuto series? The base Kabuto Beetle is pretty cool. I think maybe the B is also really cool. That was just a wrist device. I also like Sawsword's thing. Pretty much any of them except the hoppers. I don't think the hoppers are very interesting, but and the dragonfly. No, the dragonfly is pretty cool. I guess how it's just like a stick, and then you stick a dragonfly on it. How much money was the set when I got Primitive Dragon and the Elemental Dragon Wonder Ride book? I believe it was like a $50 set of the two books. Zabi, yes, I agree. Zabi. Kamen Rider Zabi. I can't believe they say his name like that. Like, it's Zabi. It's kind of weird, but it's like, eh. Have I ever seen Kamen Rider 555? I have not seen. But I might at some point because Inoue wrote it and he also writes Dawn Brothers, and Dawn Brothers is pretty epic. So um thoughts on a Kamen Rider season that's an anime, not like an anime based on previous Rider seasons like with Double, an actual original Kamen Rider anime with original characters, suits, and story. Sure, that would be really cool. I would like to see what they could do to. Although I would like to see maybe if they eventually gave it a suit, because that would be kind of interesting. I guess like it would be like reboot in Ultraman and the what's his name, like Chuck in that group and Powered in that group, or no, the other guy, I can't remember their names, but yeah, they were in anime and then poof, now they are full on suits. What Kamen Rider Super, or sorry, not Kamen Rider. What Super Sentai Neo Saban era season have I seen other than Shinkenger? I think I've only seen Shinkenger. Other than that, I haven't seen any of those other Sentai seasons. Currently watching Kabuto. Please no spoilers. I hope you enjoy. Thank you, Willie Maloney, for the kind words about the anniversary. Yeah, I don't think Kamen Rider Veil is returning because the Veil suit, they made that. Like, I think they used the undersuit for the Demon Strippers, and then the chest and the arm piece are for over demons now. Like, they did it. That suit is gone. There's like a helmet somewhere, but other than that, that suit's gone, I think. And also, the driver is now Deathstream, so there's no reason for it to return in the story, anyways. Would I ever want to watch the American adaptations of Black RX and Ryuki? Masked Rider's a maybe because I just hear it's really bad, so I kind of just want to watch it to see how bad it really is, and also just to see Furbus. Ryuki, I definitely want to watch Ryuki at some point. Or sorry, well, yes, I do want to watch Ryuki at some point, but also Dragon Knight, because I hear Dragon Knight is actually pretty cool. So I would like to see Dragon Knight and Ryuki. Actually, I would like to see if I ever watch Ryuki to make a video on it. I would make a Ryuki review, and I just make a Dragon Knight review. Like, I wouldn't make a Rider Potential. I would just make reviews of the two shows. Would I like to see Kamen Rider Super Sentai series where they are a rebellion group fighting against a villainous totalitarian empire? That's literally just the plot of Kyuranger. The Kyurangers are a rebellion. They literally say the words like the rebellion in Kyuranger. So that's just Kyuranger. So you should watch Kyuranger. Have I seen Kuryu Sentai Zyuranger? I love Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. No, I haven't seen Zyuranger. And I don't love Mighty Morphin, but I have seen some episodes of Mighty Morphin, so. Have I seen Metal Heroes? I have not seen Metal Heroes, but I might at some point. There's like a couple of red Metal Hero dudes, and they look pretty cool, so. Do I have a favorite kaiju? Galactron from Ultraman Orb is super awesome. I love Galactron. Like, the episodes he's in are really cool. But he also just looks really cool. It's a really cool looking kaiju monster robot thing. So definitely Galactron. I hope they include Galactron card in the. I don't know. No, I don't think they would. I don't think a Galactron card would be included with the Dark Ring, because I feel like they're gonna make two sets again with the Ultra Replica Dark Ring. They're gonna do a The Dark Ring, the main Dark Ring set, is probably going to have all the cards that Juggler and the One Woman used in the movie, and all the cards Juggler used in the show. So, that's, I don't know how many cards that is. That's at least like over 25 cards. The main Ultraman main Ultraman Orb replica set already had like, I think, over 20 cards. So that's already a lot of cards for just the one set. And then they'll probably do another set where they include all the other like toy exclusive cards that they did with that, like they're doing with the Ultraman Orb set. I think that's where they'd include in the Galactron card, and they'll probably include all those random cards they did, like Galactron. I think they did Magata Orochi and Maga Orochi, even though they didn't actually have cards in the show. Juggler just has a card, even though he is the one that uses the Dark Orb ring. So it's like, I don't know where you got that, but it's fine. And then they'll probably also include like the new age kaiju, like they included the new age Ultraman in the upcoming card set. Like what I mean, I think usually it's like just a couple monsters in the recent seasons that are just new, so they'll just probably include that, like Horoboros, I think. Oh, they might include. I don't know if they would. They'll probably include something for the Geed fusions or stuff. But actually, I did just realize that it would be. I think they'll probably code in the Geed fusions and the monster fusions and the Celebro monster fusions, because the normal orb ring actually can do stuff like Skull Gomera, so it'd be pretty cool to have the dark orb ring do stuff like Skull Gomera. I just realized that, like, as well, because I was kind of thinking, like, I don't love like the whole kaiju thing with the dark ring, but I mean, I want it anyway to get it for it because I like Juggler. So it was actually be really cool because I just realized we can get like Geed stuff as well with that. So, and like other monster fusions. So now I'm excited for it again, even though I was kind of excited for it anyways. Have I watched Juden Sentai Kyoryuger? Have not. Was I upset that the MMPR didn't use the Die Ranger suits? I mean, I was not like watching Power Rangers when MMPR was happening, so I wasn't like, and then even then I wouldn't have been aware of Sentai. So I guess years later when I found out they didn't use it, I was like, okay. Like, I mean, I get it. It's because they didn't want to like switch suits, I guess, because they didn't know what would happen. So how did I know about Kamen Rider Geats is coming after Revice? I mean, I don't know anything about the Geats. Like, I know the name, I know the rumors, but and have I seen Dino Fury season 2 yet? I didn't even finish Dino Fury season 1. I watched like the first batch of episodes, and then I watched like a couple of the episodes on Netflix, and then other than that, I have not continued. But I will probably continue at some point. Probably, I think once they drop the rest of season 2, I'll just finish the whole thing. But I don't expect a review on it. I don't really feel like reviewing Power Rangers, really. Um, I should watch Tokusatsu Gagaga. I have heard very good things about Tokusatsu Gagaga, so maybe I will watch it at some point because it looks interesting. So, and what I've heard is interesting. Is the Kamen Rider Gill suit gone or is still around? I don't know the last time we saw the Gill suit, so that might answer your question. If we haven't seen it in over 10 years, could be gone, but I don't know. I don't know where it is. Thoughts on checking out Toku themed comics like Ultra Mega or Radiant Black? Oh yeah, I've seen people talk about like those all the time. I haven't read any of them, but like the Radiant Black suits, I guess you can call them suits. The Radiant Black suit stuff, like that, they look really cool. I think there's a red one, and I like the red one. The red one looks great. Maybe I'll read them at some point, but they do look cool. Um, and then thoughts on Trigger until I stopped. I Trigger was all right. Like the reason I stopped is I kind of just got too busy with other stuff, so I couldn't keep up with the live streams, and then I just didn't like the show enough where I was like, oh, I have to keep watching the show. I was just like, I don't have the time to watch it right now. I just won't watch it. So that's pretty much my opinion on it. Where I'm like, oh, it's okay. Which Kamen Rider 5's exclusive riders do I like more, Saiga or Orga? I like the look of Orga more, but Saiga does the funny English quote scene, so I have to say I like Saiga more. Um, what Power Rangers Super Sentai seasons have I seen? I've only seen Shinkenger and Samurai, and then Maji Ranger and Mystic Force. Other than that, I actually haven't seen like any of the adaptation stuff, so which is a little disappointing. I would like to see more of the seasons I've seen adaptations of, but I actually haven't seen like a lot of Power. I haven't seen enough. No, I have seen a decent amount of Power Rangers. Like I could watch Time. I've seen Time Force, Wild Force, Mystic Force, Deca Ranger, Dino Thunder, like all the Neo Saban stuff. So I can kind of just pick randomly of like any of the Heisei, like later Heisei Sentai seasons that I can watch a show I've seen the adaptation of. Have I ever heard of Ryukendo? I have. The suits look cool. Gotta gotta love how much new Sentai and Kamen Rider gets compared to the Dust Bunnies by Power Rangers. Yeah, that's the kind of why I've dropped off of Power Rangers recently, just because there's so much Sentai and Kamen Rider stuff that's all super cool. And Power Rangers, it's like we got the name. We have a rumored name for the next season, and that, I mean, it's cool, but it's like, what do I do with that? I have a name. That's it. Have I watched The High School Heroes? I have not, but I've heard very good things about it. I do want to watch it at some point. I do. I really need to just watch like other random toku, because sometimes I just don't, because I'm like, what if I want to make a review on it, and I don't want to like take notes and do stuff for review like now, but like I could just watch it and just not do a review on it. I really should do that more. Do I know what happened with Kamen Rider Veil not coming back in Kamen Rider Revice? I mean, I think it's just the fact they didn't write anything for him to do. Like, they wrote him into that one episode, and then they didn't have any other plans for him to come back. And then, um, they used the suit parts for Over Demons, and now it's Over Demons. So I think they just didn't have any plans for it, and now it's too late to bring it back, because we have Deathstream and Over Demons. So, do I think Kamen Rider Shinobi will come after Revice or Geats? Well, it's not coming after Revice, because Geats is the season after Revice. And it's also just not going to happen after Geats, because it's just not going to happen. It's not going to be a whole Rider season. Have I ever heard about Ryukendo? Oh no, I already answered that. But yes, again, I have. I just reread the question. What do I think about Don Murasame? Don Murasame is awesome. Like, super cool looking suit in Don Brothers. I love the visor, how they gave it like a pink visor. That looks really cool. The design is awesome as a shark ninja. The sword is really awesome as well. I love that he transforms with the sword, but even then he's not actually transforming. He's just materializing into a form. I think he's really unique. Granted, I do think his debut is like, it's not bad, but it's also just like, it didn't feel necessary right now. Like, it's happened. It's like another wrench thrown into Don Brothers, but it doesn't really feel like, it doesn't feel very organic how it's happened. Like, he's just in the show now. He's just another dude in the show. Like with Jiro, we introduced Jiro after Taro dies, so it's like that made sense. The Juto, we kind of introduced. The Juto aren't really doing anything right now though, so it's just kind of like a background plot. So it just feels natural. It's like, oh, we've got Juto in the show now, but with Don Murasame, because he doesn't tie into anything, it's, I guess we don't really know what his deal is, so it's like he just feels kind of out of nowhere. But I am looking forward to seeing what they'll do with him. So, thoughts on any of the new Marvel movies like Spider-Man, No Way Home, Doctor Strange? I love Marvel. Like MCU, normal Marvel. Always love Marvel. So MCU stuff, I've really enjoyed the recent movies. No Way Home is awesome. Doctor Strange is actually, the new Doctor Strange is like my third favorite MCU film. I just really liked the Scarlet Witch in it and other stuff in it as well. The cameos are really cool as well. Just the whole thing. It was a really cool film. Thoughts on... wait, that's... I already read that one. What pre-Juice seasons have I seen? Zero pre-Juice seasons. Do I have the Volcano Rex Vice stamp? Nope. The only Vice stamp I have is Speeder, because it's with the Demon's Driver. I got Terra and Megalodon because they were like $10 on Amazon America, so I got 2 Vice stamps for $20, free shipping, sure. And then I got Jackal, but just Jackal. I didn't get like the Vice stamp base, because at first I was like, I should get, well, because I was getting the Demon's Driver, so I was like, I should probably get X-Aid to go with the belt. I've bought Brachio. I haven't shipped it to me yet, but I do have a Brachio stamp somewhere out there in the world. Um, I do have a Brachio stamp. I have not shipped it to me yet, but I do have a Brachio stamp somewhere out there in the world. Um, I bought Brachio. I haven't shipped it to me yet, but I do have a Brachio stamp somewhere out there in the world. And then I've pre-ordered Over Demons and or Stag, Kuwagata, and Anomonokaris, and the Spider and Kuwagata Troopers. And then I guess I also now have Kabuto, Caucasus, or no, Hercules, Kabuto, Hercules, and Komodo Dragon are on the way. And then I don't know where I'll go from there with Vice stamps. Because I now I like Vice stamps as a gimmick. I think they're a pretty cool gimmick. But part of me is always like the only thing I can really use with them is to just get the little jumpy image in the Demon's driver. So it's like I don't. Oh, I also have I forgot I have a Kajiki stamp on the way to me as well. So because it's Saber and I like Saber. So other than that, like I don't know what Vice stamps will get. Actually, I do want Lion because it looks cool. It's red and gold, yellowish. And then there's another one as well. Like a couple of the main Vice stamps I want, like the retail ones. I might get Neobata as well. But other than that, I'm not too hardcore into Vice stamp collecting. Like I don't really need or want like all main 10 Vice stamps in the show. So thoughts on the rumor of Power Rangers no longer doing Sentai adaptations? Honestly, I don't really care at this point with Power Rangers. If they keep doing Sentai adaptations, that's awesome. If they don't do any more Sentai adaptations, that's also awesome. I don't really if I want to see those Sentai suits, I'm watching Sentai. So I'll just watch the Sentai and I'll see those suits. If Power Rangers does it, that's cool. I can see the suits in a different way. But if they don't want to anymore, that's also fine. I'm perfectly fine with watching new suits. Power Rangers can do whatever. I don't care anymore. Would I prefer Shin Ultraman be a TV series rather than a movie? I haven't seen it, so I feel like as a movie it just makes more sense. But I also don't know. Like maybe the plot would work better as a show, so I haven't seen it. Thoughts on the rumor that the Shin movies are a shared universe? I don't think that's a rumor. I think they said in like the Kamen Rider movie, Shin Kamen Rider, they'll mention like Godzilla and Ultraman, and I believe in Ultraman there's mention of Godzilla. So I don't think that's a rumor. But it's cool. I like that they're all just in their own universe, and I don't think they're gonna actually cross over. So I think it's just kind of neat that we have like this Kamen Rider movie, and then at some point they're like, oh yeah, there's like a giant lizard that's destroying Tokyo. But oh well, we have the Bugman. We have to focus on Shocker's like just Shocker's experimenting with people, and they're like, there's a big lizard. Okay, whatever. It's fine. A big man that just stands there like this. Okay. Yeah. Thoughts on Minecraft or opinions on Minecraft? Minecraft is one of my favorite games. I've played Minecraft for a very long time. I think since like it first came out on the phone. I was playing it on the phone all the time, and then I mean, I guess you all saw I was playing it on the computer, and I haven't played it in a very long time. No, I've played it a bit this year. Now I just kind of play on servers with friends. Other than that, I don't really play Minecraft. Can I show us my Rune plush? I just have it in storage, like over there. I don't really have it readily available because I don't want it. Thoughts on the comic? Thoughts on comic about any of future writers from Geo? That would be really cool if they did a Shinobi continuation series as a comic. That would be fantastic. I would love that. If they did Quiz's origin as a comic, that would be really cool. Kikai, that would be really cool. Screw Ginga. Don't do anything with Ginga. I hate Ginga. But like Kikai, Shinobi, Quiz, they could do a comic with that, and that would be really badass. I don't know if you mean like an American comic, or like they are doing with 01, or just a comic in general. Either way, it would be really cool. What are my least favorite suits from main riders like Revice and Xaid? I actually have a whole ranking video on base rider or main rider base forms, so you can just watch the first part of that, and those are essentially all my least favorite base forms. So thoughts on Evil coming back in Revice and Jean getting a new form? I don't know what you mean. I assume you're just asking about, do I want Jean to get a new form? And yeah, sure, Sakura can get a new form. She's a cool character. And Evil coming back, I assume, I don't know if you mean the movie, like, or if he comes back in the show, but either way, it's cool. I prefer the Evil suit over live, and I prefer Kagura over Daiji, so it's like Yeah, let's bring him back right now. What about drivers Revice, Live Evil, Gene Aguilera? I assuming you're asking if I have those or want to get those. The only one I really would plan to get at some point is the Revice driver because I want the Rex stamp, and it would be a neat way to get more sounds out of all the Vice stamps I've been buying, where I can only get like 2 sounds out of them. But the other ones I really don't have any interest in. The two side driver is really cool in concept, but as a toy, they really kind of drop the ball on it. Like if I see a thing for it for like $10 at some point, maybe I'll get it. But for the bat stamp, well, other than that, I don't really have huge interest in that. And then Gene and Aguilera's are fine. The Aguilera, the weekend driver, has really cool standby sounds and sounds in general. So there was when Team Kamen Rider announced they were getting it, I was like, oh, maybe I'll consider getting it at some point because it's like super cheap. It's a premium Bandai item for super cheap, so might as well support Team Kamen Rider and I guess get another Vice stamp and a cool belt out of it. And then now they've announced they are no longer going to be having it as a US not exclusive, just a US release. So there goes that. That's really I don't want to say stupid because I'm assuming it's behind the scenes stuff that's happening, but that's like really disappointing because when they announced that weekend driver, they were getting that as an American release. That was huge because that was like so many factors into that. Like it was not only our first like currently airing season rider belt brought over, because before this they've only gotten like the Geo watch sets or like the Jiku driver after Geo's been over for like over a year, or like the X8 stuff. The X8 stuff they're bringing over is new, but X8 as a show is not. So this was the first time it was like a brand new item from a new show, and it was premium Bandai. So it was like on Toku Lector, they had like the Japanese release is like $140, which is fine. That's that's what I would expect that to go for whatever. But then the US release was $70, and that's free shipping for both in America. So it was like that was a steal. It was like, whoa, is this real? No, it wasn't, because now they're not getting it. So another thing too, it's so far, maybe I'll check Twitter right now, but so far Team Kamen Rider hasn't even had like a statement on it. It's just like the only reason we know it was canceled is because Tokulectables had to send out emails that they were no longer getting it. So good on them for saying, we can't, we have to refund you, we're not getting this anymore. And on the website too, it says the USA thing is canceled. So we only know because Tokulectables is just doing their job as a company and is saying we are not selling this toy anymore. But Team Kamen Rider, 0 words, 0 response from them about what happened to this belt, this US release, because like it was a very exciting announcement that they were getting a currently airing season premium Bandai release, and now it's gone. And unless you pre-ordered it or someone who pre-ordered it, you have no idea. So I wonder if Tokulectables made an announcement either though. I mean, it doesn't matter, they don't have to, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they have, but at least they're telling people. The only reason we know. Would it have been cool if Zenkaiger had 12 Rangers? Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm fine with the 7 that we got. I don't really know if we needed 12, so. Am I into Naruto? No, I've never seen Naruto. Different least favorite different forms of the main riders. I mean, that's a lot of suits to take from. I don't really like the Revice ones. They kind of stink a little bit in my opinion. So I guess I'll have to go with that. Any other non-toku shows I've seen, like with Lost? I assume you bring up Lost because I've talked about Lost in a video. Uh, but I did bring up earlier that like recently yesterday I just finished Umbrella Academy 3. Before that I finished Stranger Things 4. Before that I finished Obi-Wan. In a couple of days I'm gonna have to watch Miss Marvel for the finale. So yeah, I watch non-toku stuff all the time. I've talked about MCU this whole time, and I haven't even brought up like I'm gonna see Thor 4 this weekend. So yeah, like you know, I keep up with. Notice how they're all still like superhero stuff too, though. Like coincidence. um, do I know about Kamen Rider Chimera coming in the spin-off and Battle Familia? Yeah, I do know about the Chimera spin-off. Um, it looks interesting. Like I don't really know what's happening with it. I just think the concept of this existing is interesting where we have this movie, we have our movie writer, but there's a spin-off that takes place before the movie that will explain the whole like the whole villain writer, like what the whole writer system's about. So I think that's really interesting. I'm interested to see how they tie together, I guess. And also the Chimera suit's really cool. Much better than the Daimon suit in the movie. So, will I ever buy the Lovecraft plush? I don't want to say never because I think it's kind of fun to have a plushie of a plush character. So, I don't want to say never, but I don't really see myself buying the Lovecraft plush anytime soon. So, maybe if somehow I bought a Cobra stamp for my Demon's Driver, maybe I'd buy a Lovecraft plush to go with it. Like, not the Libera Driver, just the stamp. Um, would I like to see an evil Kamen Rider get their own film similar to Joker? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how that would work because they don't really create new interpretations of these characters unless it's Ichigo. So I don't think they'd do like a Shadow Moon movie. It's just Shadow Moon. I mean, Eternal got his own solo film, the V Cinema, the Eternal V Cinema. So I don't know. It could be interesting, I guess. This is an easy question. Favorite voice actor? Yume Miyamoto. How do I think Toei will handle Dawn Brothers versus Zenkaiser, especially since Zenkaiser Black is a variant of normal Kaito? I don't really think I can answer that unless, like, without knowing how Dawn Brothers is related to Zenkaiser, because like I feel like there's something more going on with Kaito being Zenkaiser and Zenkaiser Black. Like they said it's an alternate universe Kaito, but there has to be something more to that. So assuming it's just that, I mean, I'd assume they just cross over, like they just cross dimensions and meet each other somehow. And they would just have green screen with the two Kaito actors. I mean, they've done it before. They had like a scene in the Go Kaiju review, I think, where they had the same dude who played three characters. They were all like standing next to each other. So Toei knows how to do this green screen shenanigans with the same person multiple times in a character. So, hello Thomas, how's your day? My day is doing pretty well because of this live stream. Speaking of this live stream, we've been going for almost 2 hours. So usually for these anniversary live streams, I do go for like 3 hours. But we are starting to cut down on viewers here. I am getting kind of tired because I am doing face cam. So it's kind of a bit more tiring. So probably won't go for the whole 3 hours. Probably going to end in not a few minutes, but a little bit here soon. So just to let you guys know. Favorite and least favorite dark evil versions of the main Kamen Riders. Least favorite is definitely Dark Kabuto. He sucks. Favorite, I guess Genmu, because it's X-Aid, and X-Aid's awesome. Any plans for buying the other Saber P Bandais? Right now, no. But at a certain point, if I see like the ones I would consider are, Emotional Dragon, Wonder Almighty, and then the Solomon and Storius books. What is it? Omniforce and I forgot the other one. Those two books with the Doom's Driver and then the other ones I just mentioned. Those are the only ones I'd consider getting. Other than that, maybe the evil books, I would consider getting at some point because they make a jingle in the Sword Driver, the Alter books, like the Disaster book, because Disaster is pretty cool. Actually, it would be kind of cool to get Disaster and put him with my Hayate. But right now I'm not looking for any Saber P Bandai stuff to get. Definitely not getting the Blade Driver. No. Not including Hyper Muteki, what is my favorite Kamen Rider final form? I have done a ranking on my favorite Rider final forms. Muteki's at number 1, so you can see what number 2 is. I'm saying that because I actually can't remember what I put at number 2. I think it's Hibiki Armed, because Hibiki Armed looks awesome. If not, I might just say that's my new second favorite, because it just looks really awesome. So, am I going to buy the Chimera Driver? Nope, not buying the Chimera Driver. Right now, the Deathstream Driver set is going to be my least, not my least favorite. I don't know why I was going to say that. That's my last Revice premium Bandai purchase. Granted, I did say that the Demons Troopers set was going to be my last premium Bandai purchase, and then literally the next day they announced a Deathstream Driver set, and I was like, actually, I kind of want that. So, right now, my plan is for the Deathstream Driver to be my last premium Bandai set. I don't know what else they could do to pull me in, because right now it's just, I just want like a Demons display, Demons Driver stuff display. So unless like Deathstream gets some final form or something, or Demons gets some new final form stamp or something, then I will consider getting it. But right now, I'm not getting a Chimera Driver. I'm out of Revice P Bandai. What I think would be cool for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger versus Maho Sentai Maju Ranger, I would love that movie. My two favorite Sentai meeting each other. Majin getting to meet her mirror selves, I guess. I don't know what you'd say to relation. Her inspirations, her prototype versions. That would be so cool. How come I don't like Dark Kabuto? I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen Kabuto, because it's at the very end of Kabuto, but he's just nothing in Kabuto. Like, he's just there, and then that's it. The suit is cool, I will admit. The suit is very cool, but other than that, I don't, as a character, do not like Dark Kabuto. It's Grimoire, that's correct. On the Force and Grimoire, thank you. I completely forgot it was called Grimoire. What if Evil becomes a chibi like Love Cop when he returns? That would be kind of funny. Because he's always like, Daiji, you need to kill your entire family. Now he's like, Daiji, kill your entire family. Would I like to be sent a custom Majin Avataro gear? Sure, that would be really cool. Do I have any merch from Kamen Rider Build? Anything from the actual build. I do have a couple. I looked up there because it used to be up there. I do have a couple Sotos. I have the cross build Soto, and I have Magma as a Soto as well. And then I have the whole set that Magma came in. So I think I have like Rose Helicopter, I think, as well, that best match. And I also have the two main full bottles. I just bought those two full bottles. They're the candy toy ones. I don't actually own a build driver. And then I also have like the build Gashat. Where's the build Gashat? I have the build Gashat. And then I also have the build Wonder Ride book. Now we need to see Waz versus George to see who's the best meme lord. I think George is the better meme lord between the two. Because Waz just says UI. George says, hey, hey, hey. And George is also Kamen Rider Demons. So, yeah. How would I rank Shocker Organization in terms if I did a tier or top villains list? I haven't seen the original Ichigo, so I can't really comment on Shocker as an organization group. Like, I mean, they're bad because they're Nazis and they're bad guys. They experiment on people, but I don't know how I'd say about them, like, story-wise, because I haven't seen Ichigo. Do I think George will have a definitive rider form at some point? Maybe he'll become the definitive Chimera. The definitive Chimera is definitely possible. I can kind of see them doing that. It would be like Dark Ghost, where the one dude in Ghost, like, I literally don't know who it is, but I know some dude in the Ghost show became Dark Ghost temporarily. I could see them doing that with George, because he turned into demons once and he didn't even say henshin. He's a Kamen Rider fan. He didn't even say Henshin when he turns into a Kamen Rider. Okay, buddy, yeah, whatever. So I could see them making George the definitive Chimera. I don't think it would be for very long because we are winding down on Revice. So it'd be really weird to suddenly make him a new rider because of a movie that came out. But yeah, if he were to become a definitive rider, I could definitely see it as Chimera. Definitely not like a whole new suit. Although I wouldn't put it past Revice to make a whole new rider suit series, or what? I wouldn't put it past Revice to make a whole new rider this close to the end. Granted, it would be like a repaint because Revice has so many repaints. It's so funny. Revice is so funny when you look at like the rider makeup. It's so weird. Would I like Zenkaiger versus Super Sentai with Aka Ranger, Mammoth Ranger, Gao Yellow, Maji Pink, Boken Blue, and Gokai Silver? I don't know why you're including Mammoth Ranger because Juran is based on the Red Ranger, who's not the Mammoth. But yes, I would absolutely love a Zenkaiger versus Super Sentai with those characters coming back. Majin meeting Hoka would be like excellent. Am I going to get the Chimera driver with no. no, I'm not getting that. Which Kamen Rider series start great, but later it got bad? I don't want to say, the closest that I'd have to say is 01. I don't want to, actually, no. For me personally, I think Kabuto started great and then got bad. So actually, forget 01. I would say Kabuto started great and got bad. Because 01, I didn't want to say it got bad. At a certain point, it got bad, but then it got good again. So Kabuto, I thought, got progressively worse. So that fits the bill a bit more. Can I make a fan-made Ultraman? I can make a fan-made Ultra Woman. There's, we get an actress played by Sachika Nita. Then suddenly she becomes bonded to a big Ultra Woman played by Yume Miyamoto, the voice. And then they become Ultra Woman Majiro, which is suit acted by Ayumi Shimazono. That's my fan-made Ultraman, or Ultra Woman. Fan-made Ultraman, someone with the orb ring. I would have to come up with a dude who uses the orb ring for stuff. Actually, like a fusion with Orb, Jeed, and Zet would be like my fan-made Ultraman. Because they're all the fusion riders. Fusion Ultramen. What is my least favorite Zenkaiger? Gaon, because he's racist. Would I like to see a crossover between Kamen Rider and Garo? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I haven't seen a Garo, so that's my excuse to see a Garo. It's crossing over to Kamen Rider, and now I've seen Garo. I think I am going to wrap up here in a few minutes now, so if you guys have any last questions, throw them all in the chat. I mean, not all of them. I mean, I guess all of them. Throw your last few questions in the chat, and then I will try my best to answer them before I need to leave forever. You're never gonna see me again. I mean, like, I'll make videos still, but here, come on, you're never gonna see me here again. I'm just kidding. I don't plan to do regular Facecam streams. This is for the 5-year anniversary. But maybe at some point I'll bring back Facecam stream. Maybe if I do an unboxing stream at some point, maybe I'll bring back Facecam stream. What is my least favorite? Oh no, I already answered that. Would Zenkaiger and Power Rangers Mystic Force made a cool crossover? Yeah, that would have been a cool crossover. Should you buy the Memorial Geared Slinger? If you like Zenkaiger, sure. I mean, if you like the main 5 Zenkaigers, because it only has their voices and Sechan. So if you like the main 5, then sure. If not, then no. Save your money. What themes do I want to be done in Sentai Rider series? For Sentai, I like X8, like do a video game season. What do I think about a fusion form with Orb, Origin, Rosso, and Blue? I would really like that because they're all from the same planet. Although I think you should throw Grigio in there as well because she's also from the same planet, and then throw Fuma in there as well because at least throw Grigio in there because she's the sibling, and they're all from the same planet. So that would be really cool. Was I into Pokemon or Digimon? At one point, I was into Pokemon and Digimon, but now I'm not. I would say I'm at least like still. I remember Digimon more fondly because I thought Digimon Fusion was really cool, and I watched like the whole thing. I watched the Japanese dub, or I think it was a dub of the American. I watched the American dub for Digimon Fusion, and then I watched Fusion Fighters dubbed in English because I wanted to see how it all ended. So, I definitely prefer Digimon to Pokemon, but I'm not really into either anymore. Do I know the characters of Becoming Chimera and Daimon? I mean, I know I've seen the actors, but I don't know them personally. Why did I start my YouTube channel? Literally, I was bored. Like, I was, it was summer. I've seen people make, I've seen tons of YouTube videos over the years, so I was like, hey, I want to try doing that. So I tried doing that, and now I'm still trying to do that, I guess. What is the best repaint suit in Kamen Rider? If we discount me as a Red Muteki, uh, that's a good question because there's a lot of repaints. Off the top of my head, I want to say Solomon because it's a repaint of Kashin and Jao Dragon, and it looks pretty cool. But I would have to think about that. I mean, I guess Xaid, like Genmu and Cronus are pretty good, but they're not like repaints exactly. They're like a whole new suit. But I mean that fits the bill. They are repaints, so. could I make Kamen Rider for you, Kamen Rider Orb? I don't know what you're asking me to do. If there was a fusion rider, what riders would I like to see fused? Xaid, Saber, and Build? I get Build or Deno. Deno. Xaid, Saber, and Deno. Has my brother watched other tokusatsu shows? He's seen a lot of Power Rangers. I think he's watched more Power Rangers than me. He watched at least a few episodes of like every season up until Samurai. He's seen Gaim, and then obviously he saw Saber, and then that was it, I think. I mean, unless he's been watching other shows since we watched Saber, and he hasn't told me, but I think he would tell me. So other than that, yeah, that's all he's seen. Am I getting the Saber VC Next Wonder Ride books, or am I going to do a review of the Saber VC Next? I will be doing a review of the Saber VC Next. I have not ordered the Saber VC Next books because it's very expensive because it comes with the DVD. Someone did ask earlier about the Premium Bandai books, and I would actually, I would file that under the Premium Bandai stuff I want to get eventually because they're cool Saber looking books, but I didn't buy them right now, so. Thank you for coming to the stream, Neozoic. Really interested in new Sentais. Where can you watch them? If you just go, and I don't mean this like to be rude or anything, you can go to Google and you can type in where to watch Super Sentai, and there's a lot of different places you can watch Super Sentai. So I don't want to tell you a specific place because there's a lot of places you can watch it. So you can I guess very specifically I can tell you to go to Shout Factory or Tokusatsu, where you can see older seasons of Sentai for free. They just air that. But if you want like newer stuff, just where can I watch Super Sentai? And you'll get a bunch of results. Sentai Potential Maji Ranger. I did say I was doing that. I do plan to do that. It's going to be a little bit of a different Sentai Potential video, but I do want to do Sentai Potential Maji Ranger. So, do Ultraman Potential or react to Ultraman Explained? I don't know what Ultraman Explained is. And as I said in the G'd review, I just don't want to do Ultraman Potential because, I mean, most people don't want... The Ultraman videos don't get a lot of views anyways, so I kind of don't... I make Rider and Sentai Potential because I want to do them regardless of views. With Ultraman Potential, I just don't really want to do it, so I can't really be like, oh, at least I'll get a lot of views. I won't. So I don't really want to do it because I don't really feel like it, especially since... As I said in the G video anyways, since they're airing like the Ultraman seasons as they air now pretty much over here, it's like, why would they adapt it? It already exists over here. You can look up Ultraman Z, where can I watch? And it's right there. You can watch all of Z, all of Trigger, soon you can watch all of Decker once that all comes out. So, um, yeah, I just don't see a point. Like at that point, it's just how I would fix the show, and I would just talk about that in the review. Um, what older series of Sentai slash Rider would I like to see get Amazon's reboots or Amazon's like reboots? That's a great question because I would like to see like any. I mean, they could just do anything. I would really like to see that. I guess Blade, from what little I know of Blade could be really interesting to be like retrofitted with that kind of idea for I think for Sentai. I haven't seen O Ranger, but I hear that O Ranger had like a tonal shift because of some stuff. It went from dark to like super campy and stuff. Maybe it's the other way around, but if I'm remembering correctly, it started dark and then they had to get rid of that. So it would be kind of interesting if they did something like they went more dark and they continued that the whole way in like an Amazon style reboot. So that would be kind of interesting. Hoping for Majin Sentai Majin Ranger 10 years after. Me too. Favorite animals? Bunny over here. Let me pat his head. Pat, 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 pat. Thank you for having you on the chat and hoping I have a good anniversary. Thank you. And actually, on that note, I am going to sign off. So thank you everyone for coming to the 5-year anniversary stream, the face cam live stream. I had a lot of fun. Remember, if you want to ask me more questions, I have Twitter. I have a question channel in my Discord server. So if you want to ask me more questions, you can ask me like a question in Discord in that server. Links are in the description. Also a link to my Patreon where I'm going to be uploading soon. Actually, I just uploaded a couple face cam stuff for unboxings and stuff for videos I got coming on the way. And then soon I'll be uploading just a video straight up to that to the Patreon. So be sure to join for $2 if you want to support me more and you want to get more exclusive channel stuff. And then from there, yeah. So be on the lookout. New video next week. Thank you everyone for coming to the live stream, and I hope to see you next time. Maybe for the next 5 years.